Back with another film review, and I have recently got the pleasure of seeing Predator's Badlands. Actually, I saw this film today, and it was very surprising because when you think about this franchise historically, it has always been a horror film, right? You can typically argue that the Alien versus Predator films, or even the ones where Killers of Killers, that it did have a shift focus to action, but the thing that made the Predator such a thing or such an icon was that we didn't know much about him. He was overpowering, and that you couldn't take him head on. You always had to outsmart him. Where you think about the Danny, or you think about Arnold Schwarzenegger, or even like the more recent one with Prey, you really can't take the Predator on in a head on fight. You have to be smarter with it. You have to be crafty, right? Never have we really took the narrative to the point that we're just viewing things from their perspective for the entirety of the film. In this film, is something different. First, I would like to lead with it is not a horror film. Granted, I know there's be films that people don't consider horror films because they're like, oh, it didn't scare me, or oh, it has horror elements, but it's not really a horror film. Like Sinners is a very controversial one, for example. Sinners is a horror film. At its core, yes, it does involve vampires, it involves violence, yes, it's comedic at times, but at its heart of heart, it's a horror film. Even though it can be campy, it's still horror. It has horror elements. This film doesn't have any horror elements. It is action packed from beginning to end. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But just know what you're getting yourself into with this film. You have Yamcha, because like the Predators, their tribe, or their race of people is called Yamchas, and he's followed along your companion with a robot, artificial intelligence, and I think I want to say it seems very similar to the aliens robots that they use, and the chemistry that they had. It seems like it shouldn't work because, especially in this film, the Predator speaks his native language, the robot speaks English, of course, and then you also have different creatures and whatnot, and they all speak their own unique languages and whatnot. And you think like, okay, how are we doing this? But at a certain moment in the film, you just buy into it. I thoroughly enjoyed this film, and it's like it's definitely an action pack. It's definitely a popcorn film. It made me realize that it's been a minute since I watched something that included this much action, had me intrigued in the world. It did a great job of world building, because like not only are you learning things through the youngsters' perspective and learning about their culture, but you're also navigating this new world. And I like that this film has a lot of callbacks on that, so definitely do pay attention as you watch it. And thoroughly, it was a great time watching it. Now I could complain and like, oh, why is it in a horror film? You ruined the Predator franchise, something like that. But the advertisement and the trailers were very true to its value, and it definitely gives me something to look forward to as in the future of this franchise, especially considering the ending. If you saw the ending of this film, you already know what I'm talking about, so it definitely leaves the door open. There will definitely be a sequel. I love these characters. It's not cringy. I like that everything has like its own backstory and doesn't hit you over the head with a message. It was definitely a fun time all around. So, have you seen Predator's Badlands? What are your thoughts? Are you going to see it? I definitely highly recommend that you see it, but just know that it's not a horror film. It is action packed, right? Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, jarritos are on me. Ciao.